Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. Today is July 21st, and Mike Brenner and I are continuing our team-by-team previews of betting previews, odds previews of the NFL and the Jacksonville Jaguars is what we're going to cover right now. An interesting team along with the Oakland Raiders, one of the teams that is sort of a bandwagon team. People are expecting a big improvement from them this year. It's understandable why the season win total is 7.5 minus 115 on both the over and the under. And I'll tell you what, obviously a ton of improvements we've seen from Jacksonville. I think they might be a season away, though. I think that people are thinking that the 2016 Jaguars are going to be what the 2017 Jaguars actually are. You know, I still have some questions with Blake Bortles. I'll tell you what, I honestly do. I have some questions with Blake Bortles. He's put up huge numbers, but a lot of those numbers came when the games weren't competitive, when they were down a lot of points. Now, if they're more competitive and it's just a lot more pressure-filled, Bortles might struggle a little bit. He's one of those quarterbacks who likes to take chances, take risks. I can guarantee you in some of these competitive games, he's going to make some mistakes and throw some big picks and fail a little bit under pressure, and people are going to start revising their assessment of him and say, wow, is he really as good as we thought? I'm not exactly sure that the Jaguars are going to be a good bet on the over 7.5 wins here. What do you think, Mike?
Well, Pistol Pete, Chris Boom Boom Berman from ESPN couldn't have broke that down any better. I promise you, you got a magic.
But on the other hand, let me add one more. On the other hand, they've got a ton of guys on the defense who are really eye-opening.
They are.
Fowler coming back from injury. Their defense might be.
I think quietly that's going to be their weapon.
Yes.
Everybody's talking about Bortles, and rightfully so, But he did take some beatings. He got sacked. He went down quite a bit, and he gets roughed up. But he's a big enough guy. But how long can you keep handling that? So it's going to rely on if he stays healthy, and you nailed it, if he stays away from throwing the picks.
Yeah.
He's another kind of quarterback when they get behind and have to come back. All right, he forces, he presses, and he does. He makes those small mistakes. Now,
and I'm not saying I'm down on him or
that
he's a sucker. I'm just saying,
you're spitting facts because I got news for you. You're dead right about the 2017 team.
Yeah.
I think that's what everybody's expecting this year. This team is 1 year away and probably 4 or 5 players away, but they do have some eye-opening guys on defense, Pistol Pete. They allowed 28 points last year, though. You're not going to win ball games allowing 28 every time out and only scoring 23. I mean, that's obvious. My question here is, who are they going to give the ball to most? Chris Ivory, the pickup they got from the Jets, or are they going to continue to let TJ Yeldon from Alabama?
Yeah.
I think that's the kid you want to continue to tutor. Let this kid
that was
off.
That was a weird signing too. I don't like that signing of
Ivory.
And now you got Yeldon. Yeldon, he's gonna when his contract is up, he's gonna be like, give me more money than Ivory.
And that gets in his head. Why are they bringing this other guy in? You don't believe in me? I mean, there's so many factors.
I'm certainly not. Again, just to clarify what I was saying about Bortles, I'm not saying that he's not making great improvements and not a good quarterback. I'm saying people are pointing to his stats from last year, and I'm just saying that those stats are a little bit misleading. I think if you look at how a lot of them were accumulated.
Pistol Pete, he's got a fine-looking wife too, by the way. She's from Central Florida. I'm not kidding you. I saw some pictures of a friend of mine, knew her. Yeah, just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But Jacksonville 7.5. You know what? This is one of those team totals I think is so close that I can't call it. It tells me to just stay off.
But the defense is really impressive. I mean, they got Ramsey, that's just a great pickup. I think as even though Elliott might have a great year, Dallas should have taken him. Miles Jack might turn out to be a great. And then they've got Fowler coming back. This defense might be seriously improved, even though they have a lot of new starters on it. There's a ton of talent that's being injected here, and so
they weren't happy with that number 24 ranking last year on defense. So obviously they had to do something there, and I think that they did. So we'll see what happens. But it's another one, Pete. I got to kind of wait and play it out because they got the Packers, Baltimore, they got the Colts and Bears early on, and then they have Oakland as well, San Diego. So they're going to be tested early. So we will see, buddy. I can't wait.
As far as their spreads are concerned, I mean, they're not really. There's such a again, along with the Raiders, there's a big bandwagon that's forming with these guys. So I'm not sure they're going to be overvalued. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know. I'm not necessarily looking to bet on them or against them. I'm actually thinking maybe they've got some tough games in the beginning of the schedule. I'm thinking that maybe in those early games they might be a good fade actually, and then maybe in the middle of the season, towards the end of the season, when they'll start to have more line value.
Like it. Pistol Pete, I love breaking
All right,
these games
I'm
down,
starting
baby.
I agree with you. As far as the season win total will be a complete pass, and I'm actually thinking that maybe they might be a good fade early on in the year, then in the middle of the year and the end of the year start to be a better bet, right, Mike Brenner? You have anything to add about
No,
the
I don't,
Jags?
Pistol Pete. We're on the same page there,
Yeah.
and I just know one thing. Every time we keep doing these videos, I keep getting more fired up. I'm ready for kickoff, baby.
All right, and
For real.
yes, so let's plug some things. SBR is where we come from. Sportsbookreview.com is what that stands for, and that is we of course a library of reviews of all the sports
Yeah.
books, the major
So
ones, the
important.
mid-range ones, and the minor ones, and you can go there, find out which ones are reputable, which ones are not, and which ones are best suited for you. Sportsbookreview.com.
Check it out. Last week on a Friday, guy hit me up on Twitter. Mike, what do I do? This certain book hasn't paid me out. I gave him the information. He went on our homepage where you do the complaint. Guess what?
Yes.
Within 6 days, he got paid out. And I'm not kidding you. That's the strength. All right, that's SBR. It's the one-stop shop, guys.
That is another thing we should start plugging, that they do a conflict resolution.
Absolutely.
They resolve disputes
Absolutely,
for
baby.
free. That's what
That's
SBR
right.
does. All right.
Always on the go? Bet365 has one of the top mobile platforms in today's market. Sign up today and don't let your busy life keep you out of the game.